Sue here. Do you want a weather report from Kansas? 85 degrees. 5:30 in the morning. But my hibiscus are just absolutely loving it. And the rest of my garden just went crazy. A little cornflowers over there bloomed, but I say for the most part, I just let it go crazy this year because I just didn't have the time or the energy. But look at these. 965 in one of my BJs. Look at the size of that bulldog bull. It's an all-day pipe. But anyway, look at these hibiscus. Now, usually they aren't this pretty. There's a, see the little pink one over there? I don't know if I could get it on camera. These things usually don't bloom like this, though, until, like, in August is usually when I start seeing all these blooms. So, I got a feeling it's going to be a... And those are my butterfly plants, and they didn't do any good at all. That's spearmint. But look at that one. I usually don't see this kind of blooms on these until in August, and you'll notice how many are already dead. So they're going to bloom and be done early this year. I hate this hot weather. I don't mind summers, but I hate this hotter weather. And I didn't cut grass. I'm not going to cut grass this week. See my little doggy over there somewhere? Little Freddy. Checking out the plants. He didn't get to get out very often out here by himself, so usually there's another dog. Bark, 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 bark all the time, so. Look at how pretty those are, though. This one back here, it's a white one with little red centers in it. It's got lots of buds on it. Bloomed a little. I love my front porch. I'm going to miss it when I leave. And yes, I'm going to leave. I've lived here now 15, 16 years, and I've spent about, I still owe $250,000 on this house. So before you say, oh, don't leave. I'm over 60, a little ways, and I just don't see it ever getting paid off. Oh, sorry, I forget I didn't comb my hair this morning. I just don't have the energy left. Now things are beginning to happen that I just can't fix. You know, between the roof, the front porch pollen part, some cement work. I put about $100,000 into it. I put new wiring in it, so it's all done. And I took and put in insulation. And I rebuilt the carriage house, so it's an actual apartment over there. So things have gotten better. It's just this old woman can't keep up. And like I say, it's just getting to be so hot right here today that I have to go to class at 1 o'clock. It's a BJ, of course. Oh, I don't know if you guys, when I say of course, you guys don't see the little symbol. So how do you know? And it's 965. Look at the size of that bowl. Yes, it is a bowl that big. But it's such a nice bulldog, and it sets so nice. Even though I usually don't like a big pipe like this. This one called to me because it set down, and it's just a beautiful piece of briar. And it's really hard to see in this light because it isn't really bright yet. But look at the grain. And you can tell it's well used because of marks like this, you know. That's where you can tell whether when a pipe's been loved, when it's got little wear marks right there on the edges and stuff, you know. It hadn't just set in a cabinet. My bowl's getting down to the end. Yeah, really, I just needed to restart it again. There we go. So I'm getting my nicotine kick to start my day. The only time I can come outside now is, you know, before 7. And by 7 o'clock, we're back hitting 90s again. But it's such a wonderful place, my front porch, because this is the scene from my front porch. Right now, the world is still beautiful because there's not a lot of people about. I don't mind people. I don't mind it sound like that. It's just so nice early in the mornings. Happy, happy, joy, joy. You know I'm watching you. Didn't really have much to talk about. I was looking at a lot of videos last night. And there's a little bit of controversy, of course, going on about, oh, everything it seems like. And I don't remember YouTube being this much of a controversial thing, so. And I haven't been doing a lot. Not because, it's just because of time, you know. And then for a while there I was doing, selling Danny's pipes. So, of course, that took up most of my videoing time. But he's coming to Kansas City. Well, he's coming to Leavenworth, and from there to Kansas City. The 27th through, like, the 31st. If you guys want to come join us, just give me a call. PM me. I got lots of room. And if not, we can find you room at the stable. I was thinking about going to Meerschaum. I just don't know yet if we will or not, because if you're, I know this sounds really silly, but if you're driving, it's about 5.5 hours, because you stop often. But if you take the train, it's only 4 hours. But it's 4 hours down, and then there's a 4-hour layover, and then it would be 4 hours back. So, you know, that's a long 12-hour day. Although, of course, 8 hours of it is spent on the train. And the nice thing about traveling by train is you can get up and walk about. It's not like you're in a car stuffed in a little bitty cramped space. So, I'm going to call Danny and see what he wants to do, see if he wants to go or not. Phil over there at Missouri Meerschaum, he has helped me out so many times. When I was doing Operation MacArthur, where we were sending corncob pipes over to, well, we were kind of doing it sneaky, you know. For a while there, the government said if you were in a country or in a country or an area that was more tobacco resistance, let's call it that, because I don't know, you know, when you got stupid bans on things like tobacco and shit. Anyway, they weren't supposed to get much over there. They couldn't buy it at their PXs, and they couldn't buy tobacco or pipes and stuff because of religious reasons. Now, I find that really funny, because if they were doing something for religious reasons, then isn't it a major sin to kill? Why are we over there anyway? So, well, anyway, so what was it about? Oh, anyway, Phil, they're at Meerschaum, Missouri Meerschaum. I talked to him, and he said, sure, we'll give you a tour. Now, they don't normally give tours, but he said, you know, he'd make an exception for Danny and I, and whoever Danny's bringing his sister down with him, and I'll have Kevin. But anyway, so that's kind of on the plans for the Monday, if he wants to go. I just don't know, you know, we're still, he's still doing chemo and stuff, so I think his radiation is done now, and now he's just doing the chemo for a couple weeks. And then he'll have a little break between that, where he is going to come back. When he goes back after here, sometime, I think mid-August, he's being fitted for a cap. Well, it's not, he'll wear a cap over it, but it's a little electrodes that go on your head. And they put out an electric impulse, which is supposed to kill the little tentacles of cancer that's trying to grow. And so the object is to zap them before they get very big. And so that thing will be putting out pulses and stuff. And so he'll have to carry a battery pack. And I got a feeling they don't like that on an airplane. Maybe not. So, so he's going to come between treatments. And so I say, anybody who wants to come join us, oh, please do. We're going to just do things like go to some of the local B&Ms. And then we're going to go to, we'll probably definitely go to Weston, to the cigar, Weston Cigars, just so that if Corey's there, that'll be great. But Corey has been traveling lately with rolling his pipes and with his cigars and stuff. So I don't know if he'll be there or not. He hasn't been there the last couple times I went. And oh, you know, there's a lot of little things here in Leavenworth. There's plenty of stuff to do, and we're only, you know, within an hour you can be in Johnson County or into Cansimo or into anywhere that's a big area. I just don't. I like I say, for the most part, I know this sounds really selfish and greedy of me, but I kind of want to keep them to myself. Isn't that terrible? You know, so we're going to set him and his sister up over at the carriage house, which is a large, I mean, there's room for other people too, so, and it'll be fun. So I'm hoping to be able to get out some videos when he gets here. He was saying he was going to bring some of his pipes with him so that we can start getting those out there to sell too, and it's just going to be great to see him in person. I don't know if you guys have seen him lately. He's completely bald now. He went ahead and shaved his head. I'm not sure if he needed to or not, but he might have to for that that little cap that he's going to be wearing. So, and I'll try to remember to send out a picture on Instagram or something, because he definitely looks different. I've always called him a stubborn, bald-headed old man, but crabby old man, not just stubborn and old, but a crabby, grumpy old man. So to see him without any hair was really kind of like, it's gonna take a little getting used to. He's still got his beard, good-looking beard, of course. And he's still Danny, so that's always fun to know that, you know, through all that he's going through and all that he's been through, he's still Danny, you know. And sometimes people change a lot, and so far, other than I think him being older, crabbier, and grumpier, he is still the bald-headed old man, still stubborn. Don't you love that about us, Pipers? I was watching the YouTube last night, and there was a bunch of controversy about giveaways and about GoFundMe's and things like that, and I kind of felt, I'm not really sure how I feel about that, because the last one, I mean, there's been people that GoFundMe for their dogs, GoFundMe for my wedding, you know, just here on the YTPC, you know, we had a GoFundMe because of a flood. I mean, there was a GoFundMe for a raffle from Ben for Danny, but you know, it was Danny didn't ask for that, and Danny was selling his pipes, which is what we did when I needed to spend so much money on the house. You know, I sold 30 Dunhills, you know, and that was heartbreaking to do, but you know, when you need the money and you want to better your lives, you take and do what you do. And so you know, for him and for me, Danny said his pipes were bought for an investment. But come on, pipes are for loving, pipes are for smoking, you know, for the most part, unless it's specialty pipes or Dunhills or really good unsmoked pipes, you know, they don't sell very well. And that's kind of sad, because some of the most loved pipes and the ones that are the best smokers are ones that Dr. Grabo's and Medicos and stuff. And I know you don't see me often with some of those, but those are the ones that I run around with in my teeth, you know, and I clench them. So probably the reason you don't see them is because I'm usually working with that pipe, you know, I'm doing something when I have that pipe in my hand. Rats, the pipe's out. I mean, really out this time. Let's see if I can light it back up. I am never going to get through this bowl of tobacco. Every time I think, well, that's it. It's got to be done. More nicotine. And with the temperatures yesterday reached 100. When it clicked to 100, I just said, oh, well, shit. Forget this. And I went into the house and just stayed in the house from 2 o'clock on. And then I had to do some running, so the car temperature stood at 100. As you're driving down the streets, all the neon signs are saying 100, 100, 100. And it's like, you know, don't keep reminding me. I'm in a nice, cool, air-conditioned car. I'm happy. Quit telling me how hot it is out there, or I'm never going to get out of this car. The comfort index yesterday was 109 to 111. So there's a red bird, and I get little hummingbirds because of the size of those hibiscus. Hummingbirds love them. They come all the time. But well, the dogs on the other side of the street are out. We're going to see some of the joggers coming by pretty soon. It's going to be kind of noisy out here for a while, so I think I'll go in. You guys have a good day. Happy, happy. Joy, joy. You know I'm watching you.